Alrighty, good Friday afternoon to you. Hope everybody is having a good day. Kind of an interesting day, right? What a sharp contrast from yesterday. It was beautiful out yesterday, right? Temps are running the 50s. Of course, wind is stealing the show. Many of you are gusting between 35 and 61 miles per hour at the 3 o'clock hour. We'll touch on that in just a second here. It looks like things will start to calm down over the next hour and a half. So as soon as we get to about 5 p.m., I think that front's going to be reaching about mid-coast Maine, and we'll start to see the wind shift over to the west. I mean, it's going to stay windy overnight, but it's not quite as windy as what we've had out there this afternoon. No big changes. This one's been pretty well behaved so far. We haven't seen at least any surprises so far. Most areas are gusting between 35 and 55 miles per hour. Portland is expected right around 55 miles per hour so far. We may get another gust or two somewhere in that category. I think mid-coast Maine will still get our strongest gusts as the front makes its way into that region. But Augusta, we always talk about Augusta. The airport's up on a plateau there, so it always gets some of the stronger winds. It's not a great representation of what's happening down in the valley, in the Kennebec River Valley, but we see that there. Portsmouth around 50 miles per hour. Bangor is reporting 61 miles per hour. Up at the observatory, where the temperature is still 36 degrees, they flipped over to rain. It's 118 miles per hour for a peak wind gust. All right, let's talk about current winds. The winds right now are gusting about 47 there in Wiscasset, Rockland 46. Let's go back to that for a second. Yeah, so Rockland needs to be updated. That's a brand new gust. So they were at 3 o'clock 43. And you kind of make out what's happening here. The front is making its way through the region. You see the wind shift line right in there. That wind shift line is the cold front, and wind will shift over to the west. We've seen that already happen in New Hampshire. We're still seeing this front kind of bisect the state here in Maine. We've had angry seas. This is a scene from our Old Orchard Beach Pier cam. We're going to start focusing in on the colder air moving in as we go into the nighttime hours. All right, let's try to pinpoint where this front is. You can kind of see some of those showers and thunderstorms rolling through. There were a few lightning strikes I saw. I saw one down York County and one up in Androscoggin County. So actually, we'll touch on that in a second here. But this was a pretty good little burst of rain that came through the Portland area, and it's about ready to move into Augusta. This one does have some lightning with it. In fact, let's throw the lightning on and see if we can find where we've seen some strikes. I saw one strike within the last half hour. Hang tight. Here we go. Oh, there it is right there. Right in the circle we highlighted. Love when that happens. Let's get a little bit closer on that so we can see. Looks like it's near Bowdoin, maybe. Bowdoin. There we go. Yep. Litchfield. Yeah, so right over Litchfield, heading to Richmond. So this one has a little bit of lightning in it, some real heavy downpours, and likely some very, very strong winds. The actual front that will shift our wind over to the west is right in here. That's out ahead of this. We have the wind that's generally, let's see if we can put this on here, folks, generally out of the south. So we're getting that stiff wind out of the south. Behind this, the wind will shift over to the west and colder air comes rushing in. Now, a lot of folks are wondering, when are things going to freeze up? And I think around midnight they will. The good news is the wind will hopefully dry up the roads. I do not think it's a traditional flash freeze setup that we can sometimes get around here. But I think things will start to improve, at least with the strong southerly winds, probably over the next hour and a half. So we'll see some improvement there. There's that one lightning strike. I zoomed right in on it, and I forgot I did. Let's take a look at some of the reports. A bunch down York County. Let's start off to the south. Power lines down, blocking road in North Berwick. We have in Sanford a large tree down. Main Street in Sanford. This one is a tree down blocking a roadway 3 miles northwest of Wells. So this is coming in at least 3 miles northwest from the center of Wells. Kennebunk, we have a report of a tree down blocking Day Hill Road near Chick Crossing Road in Wells. This one from Arundel, a tree on a primary power line, wires on fire. Oh, the wires are on fire. Fire department is closing Witten Hill Road. Let's go up and see what's going on farther to the north. Again, some of these are some new reports coming in from our friends at the National Weather Service. Thanks to everybody who has sent in a report. If you have a report and you'd like to share it, feel free to throw it right in comments here. Let's check out these. Looks like it's over towards the Windham area. This one, North Windham. We have a large tree and power lines down blocking Page Road in Windham. And this one is North Wyndham, large tree on 302 in the area of Hall Road. So yeah, some reports there. These are some of the areas you might want to avoid. Let's head farther off to the north. It's been a bunch in New Hampshire. Look at all the wind reports starting to show up in Vermont. Let's look at these in Kennebec County real quick. We've had a few reports here. Palermo, tree down in roadway on Route 3 by Toby's Grocery. Good to know about that. If you're heading to the grocery store, you might want to avoid that area. A large tree down blocking Mountain View Road in Fairfield. So multiple trees down, as you would imagine, with these stronger winds this afternoon and heading into the evening. And again, it looks like things will start to calm down, my guess, by 5 p.m. So if you're just joining us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, thanks for joining us. The front is right in here. I think that's the cluster of showers. This one's a little appendage right here, but we've seen, winds out of the south. Ahead of the front, the wind will shift over to the west. And it looks like the mountains will transition over to a little bit of snow very soon. Higher elevations, particularly in the presidential range, you get over 3,000 feet. I think there'll be about 3 to 6 inches of snow there. Elsewhere down in the valleys, it's probably a coating to an inch. Here we go at a 5 o'clock or so. As I mentioned, we're seeing the back edge of that front working its way into mid-coast, into down East Maine. There it is right there. So again, behind this front, the wind is shifting over to the west and temperatures will cool off significantly. I do think Storm Tracker may be a little too quick cooling us off. It looks as if probably around midnight, the earliest, my guess, is probably 11 p.m. Temps will get down to about freezing. The front stayed. Let's get rid of the front. This is midnight. So I think Storm Tracker is a little too quick cooling us off. My guess is we're probably around 31 or 32 degrees at midnight. And the reason I bring this up, I know a lot of folks out there are maybe planning on sanding the sidewalk or the driveway, or maybe work for a snow removal crew. And you're wondering, hey, when do I go out here and start sanding and salting because we'll have some icy conditions. With that said, though, we've talked about it all week. I do not think this is going to be a traditional flash freeze simply because that wind for the next few hours, that west wind, is going to dry up the roadways. I think that the well-traveled roads should dry up very quickly behind this front. But, deeper puddles, they're going to freeze solid, and any leftover standing water will be frozen by Saturday morning. So we're talking about that. I think they'll loosen up a bit by Saturday afternoon. Notice we're in the teens and low 20s during the morning. Our best part of Saturday is going to be or at least our brightest part of the Saturday is going to be in the morning. Clouds will increase during the afternoon. Notice those temperatures were running in the middle 30s, so we should get above freezing. Here comes that round of clouds tomorrow night. I can't rule out a snow shower, and it looks like skies go partly sunny on Sunday. We're a tad warmer. I think most of the region will be in the upper 30s and low 40s. Probably most areas will touch the low 40s, and it's a little bit breezy on our Sunday as well. In fact, let's call it windy. The back edge of our strong winds are moving out over the next couple of hours, at least southerly winds. The wind is going to shift over to the west, and I think we're going to get gusts probably 30 to 40 miles per hour overnight. So that's enough for still some problems. I mean, it's going to get quite chilly overnight as well. Notice 1:30 in the afternoon Saturday, the winds, they're starting to diminish. So our windiest part of Saturday is going to be the morning, and the weather will actually improve during the afternoon. A lot of folks are saying, okay, the rain, the wind, the fog that has certainly knocked our snowpack down considerably, or down to bare ground in many areas. So will there be a white Christmas? I'm sticking to it. And the answer is yes. At least it'll be close. There's a chance for an inch or two of snow on Tuesday. So probably Tuesday afternoon, to be more specific. We may mix a little bit of rain at the coast, but it's this little feature kind of swinging through on Tuesday and into Tuesday night. So that's our best chance for putting snow on the ground before Christmas. And there's Santa. He's waving. Might need the sleigh this year. Sometimes he puts the wheels on the sleigh. But this year, I think might get an inch or two of snow on Tuesday. And actually Thursday, Christmas itself, you might get a little bit of afternoon rain, wintry mix, or snow. I don't think it's a big storm, but something to keep an eye on. I think Thursday or Friday, but it's probably going to be Thursday. That's my early guess. So inland areas, you probably stand a greater chance for seeing freezing or frozen precipitation through the event. That's 6 days out, and I'm sure that will we'll have some, we'll mess around with that between now and then. All right, let's back it up here for a minute and let's take a look at the radar real quick. And throw the temperatures on there. There we go. And hopefully I can answer some of your questions here too. Troy's checking in. Yeah, you're very welcome for the update. Expected conditions in Sanford, Allie. Yes, things will improve over the next hour and a half there. It will get windy. It's going to clear out, and hopefully the roads will be drying up overnight. When will the winds die down in Brunswick? Probably by 5 p.m. I would say die down from, we're going to go from around 40 to 50 miles per hour down to about 20 to 30 miles per hour there. But there will be some gusts over 30 miles per hour overnight, Diane. It's from a different direction, though. It's from the west. Power is back on. All right, so let's talk about power. Thanks, Brandon. Good to see you on the Facebook here. It looks like, I think at last check, we had about 30,000 customers without power at CMP. CMP's reporting. So, yeah, it looks like power's back on in Auburn. Good news there. How's Sunday looking? Got a family Christmas party. Hey, Becky, did you go down to Massachusetts? Sunday's okay. Yeah, a little breezy. Nothing we can't handle. But Sunday is a mixture of clouds and sun, breezy with temps in the low 40s, Becky. Salt after the rain stops. Good idea. Sure. Yeah, I think the wind is probably going to dry a lot of the roadways up, Troy. So that's good news there. Somebody needs to put a windmill in our backyard. 39 years. And these are some of the strongest. Oh, interesting. Huh. Yeah, these winds are pretty strong. Yeah, southerly winds. They'll do it. Thanks for checking in. Maine Trash Man. All right. I like your handle here. Maybe we could have another area that has more weather action. Yeah. Here we are in Maine. We always get one of these in December. Hello, Harris. Nice to see you on here. We got a report. Okay, thanks, Klein. 186 Kimball Pond Road in Vienna of a tree on wires, and the road is closed. So look at that. We get a report from Klein. Thank you very much. Barbie, last time we had 50s for high winds in December. I was out of power for oh geez. Let's hope this is not the case today. It was a few years ago, and yeah. It was probably the one 2 years ago. Well, yeah, a couple of these Grinch storms, right? Yeah. Let's hope. And, the CMP can't put the bucket trucks out. I think it's 30 miles per hour is their limit. So we'll probably have gusts 30 miles per hour overnight. So if you lose power, you might have to wait until Saturday. Destiny's checking in. Not really windy and Gorham anymore. It's been without power for almost an hour. And no update on CMP. Yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out because CMP is not going to be able to put the bucket trucks up, I don't think, with these gusty winds overnight. What about Winslow? What's the weather going to be? Winslow, your weather starts to calm down. Your wind starts to calm down over the next probably, hour and a half. It's not going to be extreme. We're going to go from, gusts of 40 to 50 to probably gusts 30 to 35 overnight, but from a different direction, Asher. Can Maine go all green now and plant more trees to recycle more going into the new year? Okay. That's an interesting take, Troy. I like it. Thanks for checking in again. Hello from Lewiston, Wendy. Hello from Lewiston, Wendy and Brandy. Hello, Wendy and Brandy. How you doing? All right. Heather says, no action, little wind. All right. That's good. Good news. You're keeping your power, it sounds like, Heather. She's disappointed. She loves the weather. That's something about that. Some people love bad weather. I might be guilty of that, but yeah, I get it. You're a weather enthusiast. Hello from West Paris. Rich, hello. Hello from Augusta. Troy's checking in again. All right. Can you tell Mother Nature to wait until our family Christmas gathering before taking out more power? Yeah, I know. Nobody wants more power. At last check, his name was 30,000 customers without power. When will the temperature, Ben says, drop below 30 miles per hour? Tomorrow morning, I think. Yeah. Overnight, I think we'll get gusts over 30 miles per hour, but it's a west wind, Ben. Linda loves bad weather. All right. I love bad weather too. I don't know. I don't like seeing the snow go away before Christmas, but you have to have a respect for Mother Nature on a day like today. Oh boy, Raymond, it's probably not great. No, I think they're getting rain too. Good. The wind's starting to calm down, Linda says. Checking in from Rockland. Okay, Colette's checking in from Rockland. Yeah. So you're probably going to get your peak wind gusts very soon. Let's take a look at our current wind gusts here. It's almost 4 o'clock. We'll get a new update at the top of the hour. But 4 o'clock, I have to do some radio hits in a few minutes here. So I will probably say goodbye for a few minutes. And of course, we'll have more updates on CBS 13. Yeah, so Wiscasset just had their peak wind gusts. They're up to 52 miles per hour. Rockland, 45. Portland has gusted to 55 miles per hour. And Augusta has gusted to 55 miles per hour as well. All right. Well, hello, Madison. How are you? I think I saw a picture of you with Santa Claus. And I hope you enjoyed your visit with him. That's awesome. Well, hello here from Portland up to Chelsea. Great to see you, Dana and Amy and Madison. When's the wind going to die down, Heather says. And the answer to that, probably next hour or two. It will be dying down a little bit, but shifting over the west. You kind of make out what's happening here in this map, right? Winds are out of the south, ahead of the front, behind the front. The winds are out of the west. And there's the front. How's that? Yeah, that makes sense. Gardner. So yeah, you're ramping up here, Bill. Let's take a look at the radar. There's your peak wind gust so far. Let's look at that burst. So this is the actual front right here. This will shift our wind. But there was a pretty good burst that came through the Portland area, and it's now up into Kennebec County. So yeah, it looks like it's right in your area right now. That's some real heavy rainfall, Bill. So it probably has some pretty strong winds with that little feature as well. And I think it had some lightning as well. Yeah, there's still a few lightning strikes. Here's the newest one from Sydney and Vassalboro. There's one about 20 minutes old right towards Augusta right there. And there's one that's about a half hour old up in Litchfield. Those are lightning strikes we're talking about. So yeah, definitely ramping up in that area. It's this line that's working its way through Kennebec County right now. And there's another line off to the west. So that's the main, this is the front right here. I think my guess is Portland's already had our peak wind gust, but we'll see. We'll see if that little line can do one more, give it one more gust. Wind gusts in the Farmington area. Yeah, Farmington west winds will be tonight, probably gusting 30 to 40 miles per hour, Connor. Yeah, Heather's checking in from Winthrop again. Yeah, all right. Thanks for checking in, Winthrop. Yeah, you'll probably have the wind calm down in your area over the next hour and a half. How's that? By 5 p.m. Let's go by 5 p.m. All right. I think we'll leave it as that tonight, folks. All right. There's still about 150 of you on Facebook here. I appreciate that. Still climbing a little bit. But I have to go do some radio hits right now. And hopefully we got a good lay of the land, how tonight's going to go down. And again, we'll start to see some improvement probably by 5 p.m. with at least that southerly wind. The west wind picks up out of overnight with some gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour. Colder air moves in. We'll dip to around freezing around midnight. But with any luck, that west wind will do its job and dry up the roads, and we won't have too many icing issues. But deeper puddles, they're going to freeze up. All right, folks, we'll have more updates on CBS 13 at 11 and Fox 23 at 10, CBS 13 at 5, 5:30, 6, and CBS 13 at 7. A bunch of newscasts. All right, folks, have a nice night. Take care.